Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, we're going to do this entire program about the brand new Toyota Supra. Now normally this would go probably in just another video where I've had a whole bunch of reveals from the Detroit Auto Show, but I thought that this thing needed a little bit of special attention, and probably not in the best way. Now, let's get to the hard points of this particular machine, because the brand new Supras are going to be going on sale very, very soon. Comes with a 3-liter BMW Source, twin turbocharged in succession, inline 6-cylinder. It makes 335 horsepower, 365 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted exclusively through an 8-speed ZF automatic gearbox. There are some reports that we are going to get a manual transmission version of one of these vehicles, but because BMW didn't actually design this with a manual in mind, so Toyota really has to do some reworking, because the bulk of the drivetrain of this machine is BMW. In fact, the bulk of the spine, not to mention a lot of the switch work on the inside as well, are all come from the BMW. Actually, the one that's going to be out on the new Z4. This vehicle is supposedly going to be able to do 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, even though a lot of outlets all over the internet are already calling foul on that particular deal, because this car is fairly lightweight automobile, but it was going to weigh close to 3,400 pounds, so it's not exactly a super lightweight machine. Electronically limited to 155 miles an hour. Now, the interior and all the safety stuff you'd hoping to get, 19-inch wheels on all four corners, 8.8-inch touchscreen, that is also sourced from BMW as well. Now, you're kind of getting somewhat of a bargain basement, if you want to call it that, according to the BMW Z4, at least with the V6 versions. Things about $10,000 cheaper than, but it's right about at the low end of the 4-cylinder version of the Z4 as well. And obviously you don't get a convertible top with this particular machine. Now, this vehicle comes in either 3 different packages if you want the 3.0, 3.0 Premium, or you can get the Launch Edition, which are only going to build a handful of those machines at launch with somewhat of a premium on pricing. Now, let's get to the styling of this particular machine, because saying this car is ugly, I think, is kind of a harsh comment. The vehicle is very attractive. It looks good. It looks like it's got pretty good proportions all the way around it. Even though a lot of the vents and a lot of the air little flow vortices are actually just kind of there for show. They don't actually really do anything. I think my biggest problem with this particular machine might harken back to Subaru. Now, you might think that might be quite a jump, but think of the Subaru and Toyota love child, that being the GT86, the FRS, the now 86, along with the BRZ from Subaru. Now, this was kind of a situation where the two of them kind of got together, wanted to build somewhat of a small little 2-wheel drive sports car, and they did succeed in that, made a little car that I think a lot of people really, really love. Now, there's a trick of that particular deal, because you could probably go back in the archives of me doing this stupid little videos and see me scream at the screen every time someone of a teaser shot or even a concept machine for a Subaru Impreza that looks amazing, and me say these exact words where build this car. Now, this is probably something that, 4 years ago or something like that, when the concept for the Supra came out, the FT1, when I screamed at the camera going, build this car. And I think it's the biggest problem I have with the Supra, is because this is the concept for it. And look at how amazing this is. Did Toyota drink a little too much of that Subaru Kool-Aid, where Subaru's done it over so many years where that concept looks amazing, and then when the car comes out, it's like, what happened? It looks so pedestrian and weird looking. And even though over time we kind of grow to love them a little bit, but still, this car looks amazing. The Supra's, it's beautiful, but it's not amazing. And so this is kind of what we came out with, or this is kind of what Toyota's come up with for us to purchase. And I think that this thing would have ended up in a normal video if it weren't for the sheer fact, the price tag on this machine. Now, if you're wanting basically a Z4 BMW is somewhat of a bargain basement price. Obviously, a $10,000 premium is pretty decent, even though you get a V6 and a little bit more power with the BMW than you would get with a Toyota, and obviously a different drivetrain layout. But $50,000 is the starting price of this particular machine. Now you can go up to the premium, which I had another couple of $2,000. If you go for the launch edition, you're now screaming up over $55,000, which is still not a huge gap in that particular situation. But I don't want to sound like a homer, but you look at Camaro, Mustang, Challenger, boy, you can get almost a top of the tree. GT, Hemi Challenger, SS Camaro, and more performance, probably better lap times if you took it to a track, even though the thing may have a little bit better feel to it than possibly those big American muscle cars. But man, it sure does seem like this is expensive. Now, if that FT1 came out as the production version of the Supra, Toyota would be losing their mind with the people who would be throwing $50,000 bills, if that existed, at them like crazy to own that particular machine. In fact, I think you could probably make that car $60,000 and it would still sell exceptionally well. But as this Supra sits, it's just kind of missing something. Now, I don't mean to pick on Toyota, and I don't mean to rile up any fanboys out there, but really, when you look at it, wouldn't you rather have that FT1 concept? Was it kind of a situation where they shouldn't have showed us that car? Because if this thing just came out of the blue and said, wow, here's the new Supra, we would be freaking out at this time. And even though we've heard so much about this car and seen so much photographs of it going in camo and light, and I just saw it underneath there, I was like, oh, this thing isn't going to look as good as that concept machine. But this thing's been a long time in the waiting, and just a tad bit of disappointment. And for me, it all happens around that price tag. If this thing was kind of in the high 30s, low 40s, now we're talking maybe. But boy, 50 grand, that's an awful lot of coin for this particular machine. Now this thing may sell like hotcakes covered in crack. I don't know. But boy, for my money, I would definitely go for one of those American cars. So we'll definitely keep you in tune in the future just how well this thing is flying off the shelves. So normal shows will happen in the next little bit. And sorry about the little interruption when I headed off to Kissimmee, Florida for the old Mecum auction. They got some more videos going to be coming out over the cool stuff we saw over there over the next several weeks as well. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Maybe a little bit of roasting of the old Toyota Supra. If you like us over on the Facebook page, I'd appreciate it. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.